So this is just an update on the BSA ongoing rolling restoration, trying to improve things progressively whilst keeping it on the road. The new exhaust is working out okay. It's actually not as loud as I thought it might be, so that's good. It looks a lot better than the old one, and it's supported properly with this strap, so that's good stuff. I changed the needle, sorry, the main jet to 250, which might be too big actually. There was a 240 in it when I got the bike, but I thought with a straight through exhaust with no baffle in it, 250 might be better. I haven't made a decision on that yet really. I'll stick with the 250 for now. But I did notice, having fiddled with the carburetor, that the float chamber was flooding. So obviously the needle was playing up all the float itself. So I've investigated that a bit. So I haven't got the carburetor off. I'm going to put this mesh velocity stack on as well, which is I'm trying to work out a better way of getting the thing filtered, but it's difficult to fit much in the way the bike's been modified. Anyway, this is the original float, and it doesn't appear to be filling up with petrol, but I've swapped it for the foam burden float, the so-called stay up float. That's in there now, again with a new needle, and this needle was allegedly new, but I've replaced it anyway because it came with the float. So that's done. Hopefully that will fix the problem. It was just weeping out of this joint, which obviously isn't right. So hopefully that will fix that. The other thing I've done recently is to change the spark plug. This spark plug came with it, and it's actually an N4C, which isn't the correct spec for this machine. I believe it should be an N3. So I've swapped it for an NGK. It's actually an Iridium NGK plug. So again, that might help with the starting. It starts okay, but I just want to make sure there's no sort of impediments to it starting as easily as possible. So another recent improvement is to swap the generic uh, regulator for a Boya power box. Just more confident that that's going to be reliable. Mounted it on this stainless steel sheet, which is a bracket, which is cut to shape. It actually comes up here and around the full size of the box. It's very securely mounted. That's 2mm stainless steel sheet. So that's all good. I chose this power box. There's two available. This is the 007 version, which has an extra wire. It's got a lighting circuit output, which only goes live when the voltage is risen above a certain level. So basically, when you kick it over, you're only powering the ignition, and it's only when it starts up and the voltage starts to rise that the lighting circuit is enabled, so the lights will come on. So there's no danger of say having the lights on while you're trying to start it up. So and therefore we're not get a decent spark. So that seems to work well. Yeah, so another thing I've done is to change the coil. I mean, this one seems to work, but I noticed, having actually taken it off the bike for the first time, that it's been pinched. The clamp has been pinching the outer casing, and it actually had this brass shimming material wrapped around it as well to try and presumably tighten it up in the clamp. And the clamp's an original Lucas one, so yeah, I'm not quite sure that was a good idea. They obviously rubbed it down, kind of, and stuck that brass on it. Anyway, it didn't look good. I mean, it seemed to be working, but having the case distorted like that doesn't seem like a good idea. So I want to try and get everything as good as I possibly can in terms of easy starting and clean running. So I've replaced that with one of these replica Lucas ones, which seems fine. I mean, it looks exactly the same and fits okay, same dimensions. So hopefully that will prevent any problems from that source at least. And the last thing for today is this tank. I'm really disappointed because although I mean, it's only an amateurish job that I obviously did myself, but I spray painted the colour and over sprayed it with clear coat, which I assumed would be petrol resistant. But in fact, if you get petrol on it, or certainly modern petrol with ethanol in it, it just goes soft and starts to be damaged and sort of dissolve it off, which is just crazy. So very disappointed in that. But I've before it gets much worse, I've ordered some high coat, supposedly petrol resistant clear coat. So I'll try and recover it as best I can, make sure it's absolutely spotlessly clean on the outside, and then give it a spray or spray or two of this high coat product and see if that fixes the problem. But yeah, I'm very disappointed in that. I think it was the Halfords brand. I have to look at the previous video, but whatever it was, it's not good enough, and just dissolves in petrol, which is bonkers. So some improvements, but overall it seems to be running pretty well. I'm quite pleased. So the scavenging problem has definitely been fixed. That must have been what it was in the first place. The SRM sump plate being too close to the bottom of the oil pickup pipe. So I mean, it was picking up some oil, but obviously not enough to keep pace with the pressure side of the pump. So over time, it was okay for the first 5 minutes kind of thing. But as you went further, the level was slowly rising in the engine, getting worse and worse. So that's definitely fixed now. You get a stream of bubbles coming up the return line quite clearly as the scavenge pump is doing its thing. So yeah, that's all good. So yeah, it's going pretty well. So just ongoing improvements and tweaks to refine things. Right. Thanks for watching.